Guys, I swear this new and Prince wahala not be something where person go just chook mouth anyhow, because if you go chook your mouth they go just pour you total, because this their fight it to the boy and I cannot, okay, I not fit. Hey Bethans, what's up and welcome back to my channel. My name is Austin Betha and I'm really glad to have you here. Please do hit the subscribe button before you leave, and also give this video a very big thumbs up at the end if you enjoyed watching it, okay? I'm super excited tonight because I had a fantastic event today. I had dinner with YouTubers from across Africa and it was really exciting. So yes, I'm in a very good spirit. They don't give me food, I don't belly food, okay? So now let's just use that strength to enter the matter. First and foremost, yeah, Ebuka played just a clip of, some basketballs, the one between Nengi and Kaisha and the one between Nengi and Lucy. And although Kaisha was not in the studio today, when Ebuka asked Nengi, she couldn't even remember what it was that caused the basketballs between she and Kaisha. But for Lucy, she just felt like Lucy was trying to tell her what to do. Every time Lucy had issues with her being with the guys and everything. And according to Nengi, she's a big girl, she can decide to do whatever it is she wants and everything. Now when Ebuka now asked Lucy, Lucy's like, oh no, for her it was just a case of be a lady. You guys remember that fight here where the shout was too much and also was trying to go and hold Lucy to calm her down, and Lucy's like, oh no, don't touch me, it's not me that you should touch, go and touch her, she's the one that likes being touched. Don't touch! She's the one that likes to be touched by men, touch her. Because I was like, okay Lucy, can you explain that to us? And she was like, oh no, it was a case of she liked being around guys, so I felt like she was always with guys. Lucy's explanation I not really understand, because the core of the matter be say you they tell Nengi, say Nengi, now you like me that they touch you, simple and short. Lucy was not trying to say, oh no, what I meant is that you can be a lady on your own without the guys. I don't know what that means, but oh well, that's what Lucy said. Anyways, very quickly they moved on to the whole Praise and Neo situation. Yes, there was a problem between Praise. I did not say Prince, because person say, oh Betha, the way you pronounce Prince and Praise, it confused me. Praise, okay? There was a problem between him and Neo, and it was the case of, oh, Neo nominated me, they evicted me, now you shout pass. Why you they shout? Why you shouting? You give me poison, I drink am, I die, you they cry. Why? Explain it to me, because it not really makes sense. Praise was actually very upset. Well, not upset because they've settled, their friends and everything, but Praise just felt like, if you claim to be my friend, you wouldn't do that to me. And for Neo, he was like, guy, it was not personal. At that time I had to say V because V was up, and she's top on my list, and then you, and then Tricky T. But the explanation Neo gave to us was that he knew for sure that a lot of people were not going to save Tricky T, and he knew that Tricky wanted to be in the house, and he just felt like, okay, other people go feel save Praise, make I save this Tricky T guy, and that's exactly what he did. So according to Neo, that shout when he shouts that day, not be saying they pretend, because we read it as pretense. Come on, you voted for me, they invite me, you call the shout. For him, he said it was more of regret, sort of like, oh my god, nobody saved the guy and everything, so he wasn't happy about it. And when they dragged the matter, Ebuka was like, no, you cannot say you like somebody that much and still put them up for nomination. So it has to be that you did not value the guy that much. Ebuka they put fire, and at some point Neo was like, okay, fine, okay, I'm not really saying like that. He just gave into what Ebuka was trying to say, and then he turned to Praise, they shook hands, chop knuckle, and they just settled it like that. How guys settle stuff now, so it wasn't that deep. But the one where deep past burial ground, say burial ground at 6 feet. The one where deep past that one, now this whole Prince and Neo, their fight is deep. I don't really know, as I want to take people chook my mouth. It was the whole case of what Neo said about Prince's dad, and how he told Biggie that he felt like Prince was faking it and all of that, that why would he be crying and stuff like that. Now Neo is trying to say that for him, he did not say Prince was lying. It was when Biggie asked him in the diary room, which of the housemates do you think was faking it, or was doing more just so as to appeal to the audience and all of that, and he felt it was Prince. And his reason is why the guy called the cry. Like, what did they talk where he called they cry? Because for him, he felt like Prince was a strong guy, so all those tears was just extra, and that's why he said it. Not like he actually meant that Prince was lying about his dad. And for Prince, it's like, was I the only person that cried? Tricky T cried, V cried, other housemates cried. Even me, when the housemates were not there inside the house, I cried. So which one come with the problem with Prince? Why was it only Prince that you now said, he was faking it? So for Prince, it's like, no, this guy, I considered him my brother. This new one that they look for here, I claim this guy vomit. I clean him vomit. In fact, him himself, Neo himself, not even believe, say, I'll feel clean him vomit. Even V was surprised to see me cleaning his vomit. So if I did that for you, it means that I considered you to be my brother, not even friend. So doing that, you know, coming out of the house and hearing that, I felt like this guy backstabbed me. And then Ebuka was like, Neo, did you try to apologize to him? And Neo is like, see, after the show, you know, I tried to apologize to him. But you guys know how Neo talks. He will not come to you and say, oh, I'm sorry for this thing I said. He'll probably just come and say, guy, see, that's the way it happened, you know, forget him, I beg, you know, more just leave all those ones for past. That's basically what Neo will tell you. But for Prince, he wanted a direct apology. And Prince also mentioned that he didn't even think that, you know, Neo was going to apologize, because it was until he made a statement in the bus, you know, at the finale, where Prince was like, oh, if you said anything about me in the house, I've seen it. Just make sure to hold on to that energy. Let's just keep up with that energy. You know, no need to come and try to be my friend and everything. And I feel like that kind of hit Neo, and that's why Neo now went back to Prince later on in the hallway at the hotel. I was like, guy, you know, anything will happen for us, you know, leave our files, blah blah blah, you know, more run things. And the problem I'm having with this is that Prince could remember every single word Neo said. See, fear Prince. As I did, like, I don't even fear the guy. Anything what you talk, it all store him. So the day where you go on lie, okay, get Agola. Now be say your own don't finish, because he go open your book like this. When they say you be judgment, what's the apple? Prince, relax. I don't know, the guy's blood is just hot. I get that you're upset about your dad, but tone it down a bit. And to be honest, I'm beginning to notice some kind of attitude with Prince, like, I know, so I like him, but I get some kind of attitude where person could just bring you, just be like, wait till they happen. Guy, I bet shift. Your shakara don't do too much. You know, at the point, even Neo was like, okay, I tried to call him. I called him on Christmas Day. I called him before that time. I called him this day. He did not pick. Prince is like, I did not see the call, but we chat, so why didn't he say it? And Neo is like, no, I wanted to have the conversation, which is why I was calling. And Prince is like, I did not see the call. You know, and I know that I tried to apologize and I did not give him the chance. Ebuka now asked Prince, okay, why didn't you give him the chance? And he's like, because I don't need him. I'm like, okay, what are we now dragging? You don't need the boy, you don't need his friendship, because you feel like he's a snake. He actually called Prince a snake. You know, he told him to his face, you're a liar, and you know, I'm telling you to your face. I'm like, okay, they are not friends. They're not, they talk. Can we move on? But Ebuka said no. Instead asked V, what do you think about the whole situation? That was more like putting V on the spot. And again, I'm just super proud of V. Yes, I'm saying it again. I'm super proud of her, because her response was straight on. Prince has every right to be upset, because it was his dad that was talked about. And Neo should have actually apologized. And even about the whole praise issue, you know, nominating him and all of that, V said she was very upset about it. And to be honest, even this whole Prince Wahala, she's just hearing about it. But then even hearing about it now, she feels like Neo should have come out straight and apologized. And I'm like, that's a babe I stand, okay? Now need to call the use sugar the covered sense, because on my bobo with the kiss or with the knack. In fuck up, say fuck up. Let's tell him to his face, Neo, you fuck up, okay? You fuck up. But Prince, relax your blood. It's too hot, okay? I don't understand it. Anyways, the last thing that was discussed was the whole V and Wathoni fight. You know, the famous bed fight where V is like, this is what mad people do.
I'm mad, 100%. Seriously? Yes, because this is things that mad people do.
See, that fight is still there my lesson yesterday. V was just like, Wathoni, this bed that you're staying on, I don't have a problem with it, but I just feel like every time I'm coming to take my stuff from the drawers and everything, I'm disturbing you. There's an empty bed there. Why don't you just stay there so that I don't have to disturb you? Because it was actually V's bed, but obviously V wasn't sleeping in her bed. She was sleeping in Neil's bed and everything. And you guys also remember that T-Badge's bed was really close to V's bed. Now, there was a theory they came up with today that, oh, maybe Tolani Bad was supporting V that night because she was having a problem with Wathoni. And why were they having a problem? Obviously, Prince. So it's almost seeming like, oh, T-Badge did not want Wathoni to sleep beside her because both of them were not talking. They were dragging Prince and all of that. And T-Badge is like, no, it had absolutely nothing to do with the whole Prince thing. It was just a case of you're always being disturbed. Just move to the other bed so that nobody has to come and start telling you, oh, Wathoni shift. And Wathoni is saying to us that she actually liked the disturbance. I never hear her from my life. Say person like disturbance. Wathoni will kill me for this show. Say she actually enjoyed the disturbance, you know, it was not a problem for her and all of that. She just needed a go-to person, blah blah blah. Before we go talk, you don't enter say, I was this virgin at 24. I don't understand. you know, I don't really know how to tell reach there, but I don't think that we needed that information. That was TMI. They were still talking about the whole bed thing. No, next thing she's like, oh, I felt like it was because of Prince, blah blah blah. But by the way, Prince, don't be angry. But you know, me, I wasn't even after you. You know, I was telling you to go and put pressure with C-Badge and everything. Okay, Buka asked Prince, so did Wathoni ever tell you that I don't remember having such conversation? With a very straight face, I'm like, Prince, this kind of allow where you just they give Wathoni, I not really like her. I not like her. And Wathoni is like, still, let me tell you people, I was just looking for a go-to person, okay? I just needed a go-to person. I just needed someone that I could talk to and everything. Because I said there must still be man. She now said, no, it doesn't necessarily have to be a man, but you know, I didn't have a go-to person, and I did not mind the disturbance at all from V, and I was sleeping, you know, and I heard she and Tolani by talking about it, that oh, she should go and sleep on another bed, you know, for her. Why didn't V just tell her to her face and everything? And to be honest, this was just a clear case of what? Miscommunication, misinterpretation, miswaiting. Let me write up a comment, because both of them agreed, you know, it was never bound to happen. That fight was never bound to happen. But clearly Wathoni misunderstood the whole situation, and you know, things just went out of hand, and there was that whole insult and all of that. Even when Wathoni went to the bed, covered herself with duvet, V just went there. So see, if you like, cover yourself with the duvet. If you like, do this. That fight was so funny. Like, I enjoyed that fight. I'm sorry to say, but that fight sweet, okay? You get some kind of fight maybe say nah, nonsense fight, but you get some maybe say fight the sweet. See that one, it sweet me die. But the part I still do not understand is when Wathoni was not telling us, oh, you know, before a guy can get her, the guy has to, she not really talk the word, so now the guy has to sweat, because you know, for example, she was this virgin at 24, so before a guy can win the heart, I'm like, okay, how does a guy winning your heart and you being this virgin at 24, like, help me put it on the same tray and see the one that is heavier, because I don't really know the correlation.
Prince, no offense, but I was looking out to date you. So like,
what were you looking out to do?
I was looking out for friendship. That's what people didn't get. I'm being honest.
Wathoni.
Yes. No, seriously. Let me tell you something, Ebuka. It takes for a guy to get me. Honestly, that's the real Wathoni. It takes. I mean, I was this virgin at 24. It takes, yeah.
I know that's sad, okay? So maybe Wathoni, you just explain to us in a later time. But that's basically everything that was discussed on today's episode, apart from the part where a fan asked Lucy a question, and the question was if she felt out of place at any point in time during the show, and Lucy's answer was no, that she never felt out of place and all of that. And you know, that was it for today's episode. Alright, if you guys enjoyed watching this video, please do not forget to give me a very big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed, and I will see you guys on the next one. Okay, bye guys.